It was 3 years ago that Olympus introduced the world to their first OMD camera, the E-M5. Borrowing design cues from Olympus's original OM series of film cameras, the E-M5 resembled a miniature DSLR. The OMD E-M5 Mark II offers several refinements, but the initial specifications don't make it stand out that much over its predecessor. The 16-megapixel sensor remains, industry-leading 5-axis sensor stabilization has been improved, and like all cameras bearing the OMD mark, the E-M5 II is responsive, fast, and offers an abundance of direct access control and options for customization. Especially for outdoor adventure and landscape photographers, the E-M5 II is likely the best value on the market right now, thanks to its small size and a couple of very useful tricks up its sleeve. To that end, I decided to test this camera in an environment that would truly, well, test it. We headed into the Columbia River Gorge for the arduous 0.7-mile hike to the magnificent Aloha Falls. In my Think Tank Retrospective 10, which is a mid-size shoulder bag, I fit the E-M5 Mark II body and several lenses, plus an assortment of ND filters, stepping rings, memory cards, a pen, some silica gel packs, some crumpled up napkins. You get the picture. Beyond the inherent compactness advantage of the Micro Four Thirds system, the E-M5 Mark II offers some notable features for adventurous types. Firstly, the build quality is top-notch. That includes excellent weather sealing carried over from the first E-M5, which I was very thankful for in this shoot. The mist at the base of Aloha Falls was dense enough to soak through clothes in a matter of seconds, but the camera didn't skip a beat. Small cameras don't typically inspire confidence, but the E-M5 Mark II is an exception to this rule. In short, it endured being wet and cold a lot better than we did. Secondly, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for, the knockout punch feature of the E-M5 Mark II is its high-resolution shot mode, which produces up to a 40-megapixel photograph, depending on the aspect ratio. The way it works is nothing short of genius. In a word, Olympus engineers figured out how to utilize the sensor stabilization system in reverse. Normally, the system moves the sensor in response to vibrations from hand holding. With high-resolution shot engaged, the sensor actually shifts in purposeful microscopic motions, making additional exposures at each position. Images produced with high-res shot are noticeably sharper than the standard 16-megapixel files. As a high-res shot is composed of 8 separate exposures, the final image will be subject to motion blur, even at fast shutter speeds. There is one case, though, in which this drawback actually becomes an advantage when you want motion blur. Waterfalls, for example, present one such subject. I performed a little experiment, shooting the same scene twice at 1/20th of a second. This first shot is the normal exposure. Now this one is the high-res shot. It's a pretty neat trick, and one you may be familiar with if your camera has a multiple exposure mode. But why is this important? The above shots were taken with just a 3-stop neutral density filter at an aperture of f4. To achieve a single exposure image with the equivalent amount of blur, I would have had to stop down well past the diffraction limit of the lens and camera, or put on a stronger ND filter. The main difference between this and normal multiple exposure mode is that we're increasing the resolution and increasing the motion blur at the same time. But it's not perfect. Frankly, I don't think Olympus really intended for high-res shot to be used in this way. Because the sensor is moving between each exposure, this resulted in some minor digital artifacts that appear in parts of the waterfall, which are only really visible at 100% magnification and were less apparent with slower shutter speeds. To some, the Olympus OMD E-M5 Mark II may seem more like a refinement of the original rather than a brand new camera. This isn't necessarily wrong, but thanks to some clever engineering and a continued commitment to supporting and improving the camera through firmware updates, Olympus has again pushed the boundaries of what a Micro Four Thirds camera can be.